Good morning, Chairman Hancock and members of the committee. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all today. What I would like to do this morning is talk about what's been going on at the Air Resources Board for the last year, tell you where the process got off track, and make some recommendations about how to fix the situation going forward. And just as a quick aside, I have spent 22 years of my working life at the Air Resources Board from the time I was a student intern in 1981. It's near and dear to my heart. My sole wish is that the integrity, reputation, and authority of the board be restored going forward and it be allowed to do its work, which history shows speaks for itself. Since the governor was elected, the Schwarzenegger administration has always had internal strife on environmental issues, with lots of pushing and pulling from different factions on the governor's staff. Since the beginning of his first term, ARB has been frequently summoned to the governor's office to answer questions about what the board was doing and to respond to concerns raised by various stakeholders. When Terry Tamlin and Bonnie Reese were still here, we could count on a fair hearing in the horseshoe. In those days, once ARB explained what the law required and what we were proposing to do, the governor's staff typically told us to go ahead. Likewise, when they understood that the counter-proposals by industry lobbyists would impede pollution control or endanger lives, they gently told those lobbyists, "We're sorry, but ARB needs to take this action to protect public health." And that was the end of it. When Terry Tamlin left the administration, the commitment to environmental objectives diminished. When Bonnie Reese resigned last year, it disappeared altogether. ARB continued to be summoned to the governor's office, but the conversation was totally different. Why are you doing this to industry? Show me where the law says you're supposed to do this. Tell me why it can't be postponed until next year. Prove to us that your cost calculations are accurate. Explain to me again why you can't do it industry's way. They stopped asking what's at stake for public health, or how will this affect our ability to meet air quality standards. Those aspects are no longer relevant. For the past year, the pressure has been relentless and it's all run one way. Slow down, do less, go easier on industry. That's why I strongly believe, like Dr. Sawyer, that the governor needs to put an environmental advisor back on his senior staff. The administration's internal dialogue has become completely one-sided and is contrary to his stated commitment to balance environmental and economic objectives. Some of the newspapers have reported that Terry Tamlin and Bonnie Reese still are in the governor's inner circle, and yes, they are, but they're distant. We need somebody here on a day-to-day basis to engage on the issues day in and day out. The second major change in the past year was the complete erosion of boundaries between the governor's office, Cal EPA, and the Air Resources Board. Once AB 32 became law, the boundaries between ARB and the governor's office dissolved, and we were expected to behave as an extension of the governor's own staff. ARB personnel were not allowed to speak or act on any substantive matter related to greenhouse gases without prior permission from the horseshoe. Secretary Adams and her deputies became the enforcers and ordered ARB not to get ahead of the governor. Don't say this. Remember to emphasize that, and don't make any public statements about early action measures.